Chair, there is an emerging procedural issue we crave your leave to raise before we begin the cross-examination of the witness. And the issue is as follows.
Go ahead.
The governor has chosen, perfectly within her rights, that she will not give evidence. And whereas that's within her rights, and she can't be faulted for it, we find ourselves at a disadvantage. And the disadvantage is as follows. The governor has had ample time to challenge our case and our evidence, and specifically to challenge the evidence of the mover of the motion. Our problem is, even as she exercises her right not to take to the witness stand, she has filed before you several affidavits, one of them by herself, some of them 3 or 4 others, by persons who will not also be taken to the witness stand. By law, those affidavits are part of your record. By law, those affidavits are evidence. The whole essence of an affidavit is that it is sworn evidence in writing. To the extent that these people are not being called to testify and specifically to be cross-examined, we run the distinct disadvantage that whereas the governor's side has had the ample opportunity to challenge all our witnesses by way of cross-examination, we deny an equal opportunity. Chair, you just said for the goose is good for the gander. Now, our problem, Chair, is we can't force persons who are unwilling to testify to take the witness stand. But I also understand, whereas the decision the governor and the deponents of those affidavits have made is perfectly within their rights, the decision they took is not to give evidence in chief. We would want it to be clear from the record that we are making an application to cross-examine the governor and our witnesses on the deposition set out in those affidavits. Of course, Chair, they can still choose. They don't want to avail themselves for that cross-examination. If they choose, they have already chosen they don't want to give evidence in chief, perfectly within their rights. But if they also choose that they don't want to be cross-examined, and we are making the application under Rule 10 of your rules, that they be called so that we cross-examine them. They are not obliged to accede to that request, Chair, but it should be clear on the record that they are not amenable to be cross-examined, so that in our closing statements, then we'll crave your leave to address you on the implications. Because if that issue is not addressed, you remain with our evidence thoroughly challenged, which is okay, but the evidence taken for gospel truth without the opportunity on our part to show the gaps, to show the contradictions, hopefully some falsehoods, and in short, it will not be a fair trial. This is a trial. The Senate is sitting as a trial chamber. So let them confirm to you We already have their confirmation that these persons will not testify. But let them also confirm to you for the record whether they also don't want to be cross-examined so that we close that matter and then I can proceed with the business at hand.